Hi plant babies, welcome back to another video of repotting. Yes, repotting. So once again, the repotting mix I've been measuring it, and it's just been working good. My plants are actually perking up and thriving. So we're gonna do it one more time over here to repot this beautiful Philodendron Pastazanum. So what I pretty much use is a peat moss based indoor potting mix. We're gonna do 1 cup, and then we're gonna do a nice cup of reptile bark, pretty much bark chips. And also I've been adding something to pretty much kill every fungus gnats that have been, flying around. Is my favorite mosquito beads. So it's this one right here. I got it from Amazon, pretty cheap, and I've been using it since last summer, and none of my plants have been affected for this. I haven't seen any changes on it, and I usually put 3 to 4 teaspoons into my mixture, so in that way it's pretty much nice in the soil, and it gets like moist every time I water. In that way the larvae of the fungus gnats will die as it crawls in the mosquito beads, if that makes sense. So pretty much my soil is always about the filling, and I find out that is always about how it crumbs, like how firm it will feel on my hand. I pretty much I grab a full hand of it and I kind of shake a little bit, and if it's falling a little bit, it might be too much bark chips, and and if I feel too chunky, I would say I add a little bit more of peat moss based potting mix. Also, another thing I upgraded again, and I've been telling you in the videos I've been making, is I've been using volcanic pumice that I got from Amazon. I think this was the last bag I could find on Amazon. When I'm done and I'm finished with it, I don't know where am I gonna restock it from, because honey, this pumice is not expensive online. A tiny bag goes for around $30 plus shipping. So yeah, I've been using very little for pretty much philodendrons. I use probably one quarter of a cup. This is a cup right here. So I add it into my soil mixture. It's looking really nice actually. So I mix it really nice, if it's cookie dough. Ooh, pretty dusty. All right, so it's looking really nice. So all my ingredients, since it's still winter time in New York City, the heat has been on, so all my mix over here is pretty dry and dusty. So you have to be very careful with this. If you live in an area that is pretty dry, or you have a heater system going on still, all your ingredients are gonna dry out, which is gonna be really, really hard. When you water the first time, you might want to do another watering, maybe 2 to 3 days after you do the first watering after repotting, because the soil, once it's really dry, it kind of repels water instead of absorbing water, if that makes sense. That's one of the main issues when you use peat moss based soil compared to coconut coir. So you have to make sure you're soaking it really nice, or you water again after a couple days instead of waiting another week, because it won't be really nice hydrated about the soil. So let me take a look here. Let me mix it again. I think it might be a little too chunky. There's a lot of fall off still, so I might add a little bit more of potting mix peat moss base. All right, so it's super dry. It's very dusty. But that's good, I like to keep it that way, because otherwise, if you store it too moist, fungus gnats home. So I think it's looking really good right now. I think that should be fine. Let's see the fall off. Okay, you see, nothing's falling off. So I think that's perfect. So look at this, baby. Oh my God. I almost lose it. I lost it in the mail. So this beautiful philodendron, I am very shocked. I'm very shocked because it's way bigger than I was expecting to be. But it's pretty cute. It's like very nice to my collection. I wanted it. It kind of reminds me gloriosum plant, you know, but maybe a little bit greener, if that makes sense. And it has the texture of a monstera, pretty much the texture of Monstera deliciosa compared to gloriosums. They look very alike, but gloriosums are more velvety, more into the melanochrysum type of feeling of, or micans is very velvety. This one is more like smooth and shiny texture, more waxy, like Monstera deliciosas. So I haven't checked this baby. I just left it here because it was like pretty moist when I got it. But again, my heater's still on. It dries anything that is peat moss based, super dry. Like you can see this sphagnum right here is like completely dry out. So let me see if I can pull it out. All right. Let me just make sure I'm reusing the soil right here. I'm just gonna shake it out a little bit. Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful Pastazanum. You're gorgeous. Okay. Ooh, okay. So I see some roots. It's not like the best root system, but we're gonna fix that with the bark chips. It's gonna like pretty much like restore all these roots going on here. Some fleshy, some dark, but still, you know, we have hope, we have growth right here. You can see that spike right there, this spike right here with my pinky at. That is where a new leaf is gonna come, and I think it's gonna be bigger than this one because it's really next to this one. This one is like the latest leaf and it's already big. Where am I gonna repot it, you ask? Clay. I transitioned since last year, since I had that issue with fungus gnats. I found out the ceramic plastic retains moisture way too long than I wanted to, and when you don't get that much sunlight into your plant, you pretty much keep your soil moist a little bit longer, and it's enough for your fungus gnats to have a fist and, you know, grow bigger and bigger and more. So clay, a lot of people don't like them. It's pretty basic. I actually love them because all my pots now, they look weathered. Let me show you. They look like that and you'll be like, oh, that's nasty. But actually, this pot right here might be like 98 cents to $1.75. And if you go to any hardware store that actually selling this baby, it goes around $5 to $10. So yeah, I kind of appreciate the weather clay pot aesthetic. And you know, again, pretty light, and you pretty much feel the weight every time you like water correctly your plant. You can feel how heavy it gets, and as it dries out and the water sweats out of the clay pot, you can pretty much just feel like how shallow your plant is. You just feel the weight of your leaves, and that's when you have to like water right away again until it feels heavy one more time, you know? Because otherwise, you know, sometimes you water and you see water coming through the drainage hole, but it really didn't soak evenly. So you can still feel shallow. You see it from the top, it's moist, but still shallow. So that means that you still need to water evenly. And yeah, I like it a lot. Those are the main reasons why. It doesn't look the best, but you kind of learn, or you pretty much, you know, like you develop that taste for clay. And yeah, I've been doing everything for my, I've been doing this transition for most of my plants. I've been keeping just maybe one in ceramic, but I really want to do everything in clay. It looks cute. It helps me to know when to water the plant if I'm not completely sure, or if I'm in the run, you know, New Yorker. I'd be just like, ooh, let's wait it and feel shallow, let's water. Still feel heavy, the pot's still feeling cold or moist, still fine, you know. So we're gonna put this baby in a 4-inch pot clay. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm just trying, you know, I've been trying to be better to not overflow my pots with soil. I should like guide myself through this line, because that way if you're in the run, you can just like soaking it up with water. You can just soaking it up with water and low battery. And you know, fill it up with water, wait for a second, and then it soaks way faster since the water stays here for a second. But if you overflow your pot when you water, soil is gonna come out with the water, and that's so messy, and we don't want to do that. So I always like to grab a handful, put it right over there, and try to see if it's gonna be a perfect fit. If not, we just hold it as the height we want it to, and then we start filling it up. You know, I try my best to put it in the center, but at the end it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be putting also a wood stick, you know, because you know this baby might climb, and you know, as philodendrons climb, they pretty much mature their leaves, and their leaves go floshy, lushy, licious. They even change shape sometimes, you know, in colors. So you want to give that stake or that little wood stick to your plant, so in that way it grows happy and attached to something, and you'll notice the difference, you know. So here we go. So I don't want to overflow it. Another thing with the wood chips is that sometimes you might grab more wood chips than the actual peat moss base soil, so you want to be careful with that. You don't just want to put bark chips as soil. So all right, so I think I'm ready. That was so fast. I might just fix a little bit more, but here we have it. Philodendron Pastazanum, 4 inches clay, my tiny collections of rare plants. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. Please give me some love in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. Just let me know. All right. Have a good night. I should go to bed. It's super late. Bye.